He's going to come in here now. This is where it's going to get to the boiling point. The Banelings come in and connect.
Now the backup plan to this, it doesn't look to be super duper adept heavy. Like, what's he got? 3 gates? Oh, that's such a good surround.
Oh, my God. I thought he was going to lose both of those adepts for a second.
Me too.
Nice pick up here.
But it looks like he's going to go into Disruptor Drop afterwards, which is pretty nice, honestly. Everyone counters this with things like Roaches, Ravagers, Queens, and
yeah,
obviously Disruptor Drops can be awesome against that.
It's a style where you're setting them up to defend something, and you're going to counter that next unit that's going to be coming out here. And so, yeah, if you force Roaches, suddenly Disruptors look pretty damn appealing.
I gotta say, Solar's counterplay here has been awesome.
Yeah.
Like, he's picked off Adepts, he just forced in a warping round of Adepts at home to deal with those Zerglings that took out the Stalker. I love it. I think he's playing beautifully here. All right, Prism speed as well as the Disruptor on the way. Third base being taken, so this is not that big of a commitment to these Adepts.
Yeah, nice sniping here on these drones. This is actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, this seems totally fine.
Oh, the Adepts are not wedged in the pylons, so they can't get to safety.
Oh, that's a big pickoff right there as well.
Yeah, and even getting this one over here would be pretty big. He's going to try to bait out the Disruptor shot.
Yeah. No sense sitting there, though, with the shield battery. It's never going to happen. So at least he knows Disruptors are on the way. The layer is about to finish. We'll see what he wants to do to kind of counter this. I wonder if it's going to be a Spire.
Yeah, I think, well, a Spire would probably be the actual best counter to this.
Thing is,
and
Solar doesn't go Muta very often, but yeah,
no,
there it
he
is.
doesn't.
There it is.
Yeah, so I think that, and we don't know because we're not quite there yet, but this is looking pretty damn good here for Solar. Even catching the battery, which will then allow him to get some probes.
Yeah. Solar's actually playing a very nice game.
Well, he's keeping Trap on his back foot this entire time.
Yeah, he's getting every single thing done that he possibly can. Okay, I heard a Disruptor and two drones died. Okay. Speed Prism getting in and getting out. He did scout that Spire. It's right there in the natural behind the minerals, so he immediately threw down a Stargate. Probably just start pumping Phoenixes. Look at this. This is a fair amount of Adepts. This could be a bit scary for Solar. He's got 7 Roaches, 24 Lings. If he gets a good hit with this Disruptor on those Roaches, that is going to be, it's going to be pain for him.
Oh!
Very nice.
Huge connects on those drones. 8 picked off here. The Adepts over here to the side. Ling's going to come in here, but there are batteries to heal those sentries. They're going to try to maybe shade into the natural. There's not that much over here. He actually lets a few come through. This way he can easily target down drones before these Lings and Roaches can clean up the rest of the Adepts. Nicely done.
13 drone kills overall, not so bad. Solar only on 57. Should have some mutas being made now, so that is going to really slow down Trap. But then it's kind of up to Solar here how he wants to play this. A lot of the time when you get mutas in this type of scenario, it does turn into a base trade situation. Yeah, second Stargate coming up for Trap. So if you go to Stargate, that means that you don't really want to base trade, right? If you make like, if you go like Archon, Blink Stalker with like the other stuff that you have, that's going to be a base trade basically every time. But if you go to Stargate Phoenix, you can actually just battle them in a long macro game. Yeah, he actually saw that there is a second Stargate on the way. So this is where we get to see, does Solar double down? And if you double down, that means you're going to be adding Corruptors into this as well. And then, yeah.
I think that might be the way to go.
It might be. He's adding more and more mutas.
You know, the Protoss, opened up with an unusual setup of unit combinations here. So, yeah, this isn't exactly safe against air, and we're about to see that illustrated right now. The mutas have come in here freely, and this is a lot of mutas. And again, the Phoenix is going to chase him away. He's going to try to fake them out and then try to dive bomb into them. We don't have any Corruptors yet, though, Artosis. Like you were mentioning, we have 3 more Mutalisks hatching. And air weapons is about halfway done. Meanwhile, these Adepts trying to chase down some of these drones. They will eventually be cleaned up.
Yeah, I like that he's still trying to get something done there and taking some of the attention of Solar.
Here we go. The Corruptors are coming.
Now, he didn't go Fleet Beacon, so we don't have Phoenix range. He's just trying to match them muscle for muscle.
I think one of the ideas we're going to see at play is if he can just start to take a fight on the third, even if the Phoenixes can run away and dance, the ground and pound is going to be too much.
Yeah, that would make sense, but I think, especially because the Phoenixes don't have range, now that he's adding the Corruptors, if he just counterattacks, I feel like it's slightly Solar favored here.
You mean if Solar counterattacks?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that Protoss basically can't leave, and we're going to have a real Zerg threat on the map with 5 bases. Here's that counterattack you were mentioning, Artosis.
Yeah, if he comes out, you've got to be over there. Now the Phoenixes come in. Going to get a few lifts here, but Muta's coming in, force them to drop. Notice that there's a Dark Shrine on the way.
Right.
Dark Shrine is like, if you know a base trade is coming, it's the most valuable building you can get as Protoss.
So these went the wrong way here. A lot of free kills.
Yeah.
Protoss has actually done a pretty good job basically blocking counterattacks so far, and he's now going to be here in the bottom. But with this many Corruptors, there's no way the Phoenixes can actually take on the Muta Corruptor head-on without the Stalkers underneath.
A lot of Lings being made right now. The Baneling Nest is done. Getting Baneling speed as well, which is already pretty darn good against this composition. If they don't hit you with a Disruptor shot, your Banelings are going to do massive damage to that Colossus ball.
Okay, so again, the Zerg is a real threat airwise, but you've got to be very careful to not get a bad engagement where you're underneath these Stalkers. Protoss is taking a 4th base, but again, Protoss is a bit paralyzed here in their position. There's not a whole lot they can do. They can't really move out or do anything that's going to actually threaten the Zerg without the Zerg either counterattacking, or in some cases, Zerg could even try to come in here and smash the army itself.
Yeah.
Especially with Banelings coming here now.
Some Archons being added in, and honestly, mass Archon would be the greatest thing that he could do right now. Archons actually beat like every single thing that Solar is making.
Yeah.
So I would love to see him just add, like, if he spends everything he has on Archons right now, I think that's the right play. Look at that, couple more coming in. Adding a few Stalkers in here as well. That Speed Prism gonna go elsewhere, see if he can get some harassment later on. 17 Mutas, 11 Corruptors. We don't know if he's going to add many more. Some Lings and Banes still coming in. Saw the Infestation Pit as well, so we should be going up to Hive. Which, of course, that could be one way to counter incoming Archons, is if you get into Broods. Because if you get into enough Broods, like, the Phoenixes don't kill Broods all that quickly.
Yeah. He's going to come in here now. This is where it's going to get to the boiling point. The Banelings come in and connect. The Zerg army is just continuing to close in here on what Protoss has. One Colossus goes down, but there's enough Stalkers, enough Archons that the pushback from the Corruptors is real. And now we need to see, can Zerg assemble enough? 80 Lings are hatching as this fight ensues.
Yeah, but if Trap pulls back, continues to build out this army, like, he's saved a lot. He has a lot of good Ling-killing stuff here. A Colossus and 3 Archons, not bad at all with +2 attack.
More Banes are being made, Ravagers as well.
I like that.
Oh, this is pretty good to clean up these Phoenixes actually here by Solar.
Second Robo being added in.
I like it.
This is really cool. Watching the back and forth as far as tech and unit compositions go, this is like a very interesting game.
So, Banes are going to try to roll in here and hit an area where the army's not. It is going to be shut down with ease. Archon shots, Colossi shots, everything. Making that not a real threat. But these Zealots that are chased away actually spot that a new base is going to be taken in the lower right quadrant of the map. Protoss, though, still not really able to push out and make a threat. Zerg basically grows freely. The counterattack ability for Zerg to hit 12 o'clock as well as the third base that's adjacent to the main is a problem for Trap. I think plays like this where the DTs are a great idea, but ultimately he's going to have to push. Let's see how this one does.
The way the Greater Spire is on the way here, so we could have Broodlords incoming. Okay, does a recall. Very worthwhile.
So the hatchery is going to be delayed there in the bottom right.
If he can actually get a big mass of Broodlords here,
I think that would be pretty good.
Yeah,
How many Corruptors are in this game right now?
It's not that
What is
many.
it, like 8 or something
yeah,
like that?
it's like 8. It's like 8. But look at his army. If you try to blink under that, between Corrosive Bile and then the Banelings, you are not going to have a good time.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, Artosis, and really, Zerk probably only needs to punch out one of these bases. There is a fresh one being taken at the bottom, so maybe a Broodlord with everything else attack over at the bottom and pushing up. That might be the way to go. Protoss won't have an easy time counterattacking, especially as the damage begins to spike exponentially from a push like that.
Yeah. Love to see a Fleet Beacon from Trap, but I think he doesn't really realize what's coming for him. Still more DTs being warped in here for some Archons. There's a huge amount of Archons in there.
Yeah.
The Broodlings will just kind of lock those. But that's not that many. Like 6 Broodlords?
That's
Don't
true.
think that's enough.
This is the supply goal here for Protoss. They're going to actually finally commit to a push.
Yeah, he's giving up that base. He is doing a little bit of a counter at a new warping in base. Solar gives this one up.
And this is going to be an attack that's likely engineered to keep going. Not one where he wants to poke a base out and then turn around.
Yeah, he's got to turn around from this right now. Solar does. He needs these Broodlords in here dealing their damage. Okay, starting to put some damage down onto these Archons. Ooh, nice Disruptor hit comes in.
Oh, but the Stalkers immediately blink under, and there's not really anything to actually defend these Broodlords. All the Lings and everything else is wiped out. Trap, I think, has just won this game. There's just too much damage. There's nothing that can be done. The balance was thrown off, and Trap takes game 1.